Welcome to this special ChannelX Leaders interview. Delighted to be joined today by Max Sinclair, founder and CEO of Azoma.ai. So welcome, Max. How are you?
It's great to be here. I'm good. I really enjoyed your event, so thank you for having me on the interview series.
Oh, you're welcome. And I've got so much to talk about today, but to start with, let me just ask Max, who are you and who is Azoma?
It's a good question. So I'm Max. I'm the founder of Azoma. Prior to starting this company, I spent 6 years at Amazon, specifically working on many different things, but I was involved in search, owning the browse and catalog quality for the launch of Amazon Singapore. Azoma, I started in 2022. My co-founder, who's a PhD and postdoc in AI, our mission is to help brands to increase their share of voice in AI search. So we've been doing this a long time now. We've been backed by the likes of eBay Ventures, and we're working with customers like Canadian Tire, Zappos, and L'Occitane.
So this is really interesting, and working at Amazon Search, you've immediately tweaked my interest in how consumer behaviours are changing when it comes to researching and discovering new products and services. And is this being influenced by AI, which I know it's the buzzword, everyone's saying AI, but are consumers actually using it in search?
Yeah, so I mean, this comes back to the very founding story of our company, really, which is my co-founder showed me the early models of ChatGPT, GPT-3 before kind of the ChatGPT launched in November, around September 2022. And as I said, I'd worked in search, and I had seen firsthand all the problems that we as Amazon had with kind of ranking the best product and making sure stuff was relevant for customers. I mean, it was literally my job. And as soon as I saw that conversational, early prototype of the conversation where you put in an answer, you can ask it more questions, it just understands you fluently, and like almost on a human level, what you're looking for. I knew that. Well, I knew that Amazon would adopt this, and like kind of knowing Amazon as I did, and their focus on customer obsession and invent and simplify, I felt that this would be the future, and hence we founded the company then. Rolling forward now in 2025, 60% of adults have used an AI chatbot to do product research in the last 30 days. So that's ChatGPT, Amazon RUFUS, Perplexity. ChatGPT itself, I think, is the 6th most visited website in the UK. In December 2024, they said that it gets about 1 billion messages every day. And we know that at least 1 month since then, it's been about 6 months now, but at least 1 month since then, they doubled in volume when they launched their new image model. So it's got at least 2 billion messages a day. And for context, Google gets about 8 billion searches a day. Google itself obviously recently just rolled out AI overviews and the AI mode kind of like last week. So, TBD how that all shakes out. But, it's very, very clear, and it has been, in my opinion, for a few years, that this is the direction of travel. And that, like people will be discovering products in a conversational way in the future. And that in many ways, that future has arrived now in 2025.
And I think it's really interesting because as you use Google search, Google kind of knows a bit about you. But when you replace Google search with Gemini search, or if you're using ChatGPT, the AI must be able to know so much more about you than Google itself ever knew, that it can use to assist in the search and understand the intent better. So I'm wondering just how far this will go before AI is saying, instead of me asking AI, hey, I need a new this, before AI comes to me and say, Chris, have you seen this new product? Do you want it?
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely bang on. I think personalization will be the future. As you say, all of these AIs have memory. So ChatGPT has memory on all of us, and quite a fun / scary game is saying, hey, ChatGPT, based on the memory you have of me, generate an image of XYZ, might biggest fear, my biggest fantasy, whatever it is, and like it goes to some wild and quite intimate places. But it kind of shows you how much these AI models know about us. And absolutely, the future will be really, really specific personalization. Amazon actually rolled this out, I think 2 years ago now, with what they call the Cosmo algorithm. And I know I spoke about this a bit at the event, but before they had RUFUS, which is kind of the front end search, where people could interact with an LLM, a large language model, a bit like ChatGPT. They put a large language model in the back end of the search algorithm, which they called Cosmo. And the whole point of that is personalization. And in that science paper, they talk about how if a pregnant woman is shopping for slippers, they're going to show her slip-resistant shoes because they know that's what is best for that that person, and they have all the customer data, so they know, famously they know if you're pregnant before you do, Amazon, based on their data. So uber personalization is definitely what this model unlocks, as well as just a superior kind of answer experience.
So I've got to ask on this, our audience are brands and retailers, so they understand kind of what I'm going to call today legacy SEO, which is in the UK has been largely Google optimization, but in the US, obviously, there's other sites like Bing that you might want to optimize for. And in fact, I think there's a big argument for optimizing for Bing if you want to be seen on ChatGPT. We'll get to that in a minute. Yeah. But what is generative engine optimization, and how does it differ from legacy SEO? What do we need to do differently in an AI world to get our products found?
Sure. So I'll take this one level back and talk about the technology. And what I really want to emphasize, if people listening take one thing away, is that there has been a serious transformational shift here in technology. It's like going from the high street retail to online retail, kind of that level of shift with AI. And how traditional SEO worked, and speaking as someone who worked in this at Amazon, is basically we would stack rank on each keyword what the best product would be to show that keyword based on a bunch of signals. And these signals would be price, they'd be sales velocity, they'd be conversion, they'd be a whole host of other, maybe 20, 30 signals. And the exact algorithm of what the weighting between all these signals was a secret. But broadly, you knew the 30 things that that A9, as it was called, algorithm was weighting, and kind of you needed to, the cheat code would be to find the keywords where you can win on those signals, basically, and like where the gaps are in the keyword. People do all these keyword analysis and say, I want to target this keyword. The competitors are weak. I have a better price. I have a better sales velocity. I have a better, better return rate. Whatever, reviews, whatever it would be. This technology works totally different. So the first thing to note is that these AI models are basically world models. They're trained on all data at this point that us as humans have put out there. So they have a really complex understanding of the world. And then what happens when the user puts in a prompt, they put in a prompt in written language. The AI will then convert that into tokens, which is numbers, which is the base of how these models work. It will then compress the tokens because this stuff is super expensive to run. Which is why NVIDIA is one of the world's most valuable companies, and for speed, because this stuff actually isn't that fast. And then it will go to its world knowledge with this compressed tokens and find the best output and give it to the customer based on all of the context it has on the customer, all the memory, everything you've talked about. So if you're trying to target in this world a long tail keyword like brown office chair for men or whatever, that isn't even getting into step one of this point, right? Because it's getting compressed, it's becoming numbers. Numbers are completely unreadable to any human. It's just like a string of random numbers that in a pattern that is it's hard for scientists to even understand why AI models will assign certain tokens to words. So the point is, there's been such a technology shift, and what actually you need to be doing, as you mentioned, is intent. You need to be giving the AI models context, and you need to be giving, explaining who the product is for, what is the event they'll be buying it for, what is the goal they have when they buy the product, the activity, all of the kind of the context is what you need to put in the listing to feed the AI in order to make sure that your product is serviced to the customer that you're targeting.
So what I'm getting from this is, in the past, especially on sites like Amazon, I may have entered a whole long list of keywords that I wanted associated with my product. But effectively what you're saying now is that rich content is the key. Yeah. And it shouldn't just be a product description of a brown office chair. It should be talking about the brown office chair. It could be a home office. It could be a business office. It could be a shared workspace office. It does this, it does that, it does the other. It should be all of the content around the product rather than that string of keywords that I'd plug in hoping one of them was searched for.
Exactly right. And these AI models are now multimodal, so they understand images as well as text. So you'd want to show, an image of your target audience, maybe a man in his 30s, whatever it would be, sitting on the office chair in the home office. So you give the AI the context that, like, if that person is searching for this, they're talking about, it knows from their data, they have a home office. Maybe they bought, I don't know, like, podcasting equipment or whatever it would be, right? Screen, standing desks. It will match that. And yes, you want to have all of that rich media context in the text. Like, what does it help the customer to achieve having this chair, etc., which is going to help the AI to surface you to the right customer when they search.
So I've got to ask the big questions now. How do you get your brand mentioned in ChatGPT?
So, I mean, this is something we've been working on with Azoma. As listeners may know, ChatGPT recently, I think it was 2-3 weeks ago, launched ChatGPT Shopping, where they're going to have product listings directly.
And I think Perplexity had already done it several months before, so exactly. It's happening.
And so we've been optimizing. We've been focusing on this for years, honestly, looking at Amazon and Cosmo, and so it's about generating and having content which is visual. It is optimized, as I mentioned, in terms of the property, the adjectives are there, the event and why people are using it, what activity they're using it for, the goal that they're trying to achieve, and the target audience. All of that is in the product listings, and that will give your listing the most chance with surfacing. What we do specifically at Azoma as well is we help to give customers insights into how your brand is being mentioned in general. So, like, what is the sentiment of the brand versus competitors, and if your brand is being mentioned, and also what the conversation is happening in AI, like how are people talking to AI, what are they talking about, and including aspects of both of those two things, as well as kind of having the context, is important. And we've seen it, gives results to customers in terms of getting them mentioned by ChatGPT.
And then the big one, you're from Amazon. How do I feature on Amazon RUFUS? And we kind of touched on ChatGPT Shopping, but Amazon RUFUS is Amazon's homegrown AI shopping assistant. How do I get my product seen there? And if someone like me is shopping on Amazon and decides to use RUFUS, more importantly, how do I make sure that RUFUS doesn't exclude me?
So the great thing about when we work with ChatGPT, despite themselves being called OpenAI, very little is published, right? So a lot of it is experimentation, rapid experimentation, basically across hundreds of our customers and partners that we work with to work out what works. With Amazon, we're in a very different scenario because Amazon releases science papers. They basically publish everything. It's all there. It's Amazon Science. You look it up, you'll see, I think it's 3,000 science papers on kind of search, retrieval, conversational AI, all of this stuff. So it's a lot easier to understand how to optimize for Amazon, because they tell they literally tell you. And a lot of what I've been discussing we took directly from the Amazon science papers. We validated it with multiple customers. We've seen that it works, and we built into our platform scoring on product listings based on the science papers, and we're delivering great results for the customers. So I would say the answer is the same. It's about optimizing for intent. It's about doing visual and written kind of SEO optimization, because these are multimodal, and it's about continuously monitoring and kind of optimizing the content, changing it for seasonality. We know this is a big factor in LLMs, but all of this stuff, when ChatGPT, if I'm honest, comes from a bunch of a few Harvard papers and a few papers the scientific community have put out, and experimentation and guesswork, the Amazon, it's all in black and white how to do this, because it's on their website.
Yeah, so you kind of shocked me here, because people watching this video, ChannelX readers, they're busy people. They're selling on multiple marketplaces, multiple channels. They haven't got time to read 3,000 papers. So I'm going to ask them to come straight to you, Max. So what does Azoma do? How can you help us? And how do we get hold of you?
So, yeah, at Azoma, as mentioned, we help people to increase their share of voice in AI search. That's ChatGPT, Amazon, RUFUS, Google Gemini, et cetera, and we do that by providing analytics and also generating optimized visual written content at scale. So we can generate thousands of product listings at scale with infographics and lifestyle images that are all optimized for discoverability and conversion. And I'm most active on LinkedIn, so you can find me there. I'm max@azoma.ai if you want to email me. So yeah, either of those two would probably be the best one. I'm at your events. I'm at your dinners and your events, so you can see me there as well.
Yeah, meet in person at any ChannelX event. Max, I want to thank you so much for your time today, and we'll put those links just beneath this video for anyone that wants to use them. So thank you so much, Max.
Thank you for having me.